Welcome. Yesterday, we spoke about how to get clear on what you want. So, what are your heart's desires? And sometimes things get in the way of us having that clarity, and we don't even know what step to take next. And interestingly enough, sometimes that brain fog or that lack of clarity is there to protect us. Because if we actually knew the next step to take, then we would feel the pressure to take it. So this morning, I want to quickly review what we did yesterday and help you get even more clear on your motivation and why it's so important for you to pursue that desire in you when it comes to creating more wealth and being happier. Because if we don't have that strong motivation, we can't overcome fears or procrastination. So we're going to get clear, boost that motivation to take action. And then we'll look at what resistance is in the way between you and your goals and your dreams. Why are you procrastinating? Does it have to do with fear, doubt, lack of self-esteem, overwhelm? We'll be looking at how you can overcome overwhelm to make progress more quickly. Okay. So let me know if that sounds good in the comments. Your energy that you bring to these trainings fills me up. So let me know that you are ready for it and eager. So yesterday I got you to answer these questions, right? I'm going to read them off of my notes here. So one is if I followed my heart or my gut or God. So what I keep dreaming that I would have time for, what I'd like to, projects that I'd like to tackle so that they're off my mind. Maybe my heart leaps at the thought of that being my life. So those questions help you get in tune with your heart instead of logic or reason. And then I had you write down, if I'm coming at this decision in my life, this transition or growth phase in my career from a place of logic, rational, or responsibility, then what do I think my next step would be? What would make others happy with me or maybe protect me from being judged? What would that decision look like? What would that action look like? So today, as we get even more clear on your why, I want to ask you a few more questions. In order for you to overcome overwhelm, anxiety, self-doubt, procrastination, the why needs to be bigger than any kind of fear that might stop you from taking action. Otherwise, you'll stall and you'll make really great excuses and you'll validate why you don't have time right now. Maybe it's just because you can't see the whole picture. It doesn't matter. Those excuses might sound great to you, but the more you tell yourself those excuses, you'll believe them. So be careful. I want you to write down this question: why I really want it. So some of you shared with me what you want, and some of you haven't yet. That's fine. But I want you to write down what I want and why I really want it. So maybe you want to get a project complete that's overwhelming. One of you, Amanda, you shared that yesterday. So what's behind that? What does getting those projects represent? Does it represent free time? Does it represent more income? Does it represent more flexibility? Why do you really want to move across the globe? What does that represent to you? The reason we want money is not just so we can have more cash in our hands or a padded bank account. That doesn't do it for anyone. It's why we want it, right? So let me tell you a story to give you an example. One of my clients, a healthcare specialist, so a doctor, she started working with me because she was feeling overwhelmed and she wanted more free time. She also had a career dream that quickly came out in our conversations. And that dream was to become even more specialized because she really didn't feel aligned anymore in the work that she was doing. And just got to a place where it was too much, and she didn't have time for herself. She didn't have the flexibility in her day-to-day schedule so that she could be available for her young kids at the time. She felt like she didn't know how to fit her dream into her current lifestyle. It was just too full. And so we looked at what the resistance was, which is what we're going to be doing today. And some of the resistance was, I'm not ready. So these are the thoughts she was thinking. I'm not ready. I don't have what it takes. There's only one position at the esteemed university that I want to get this training in. One position out of all of Canada that they choose a person to fill. Who do I think I am to apply for that and think that they'll actually choose me? She felt like she wasn't doing a good job as a mom, and that if she put more on her plate, it was selfish. More on her plate that would fulfill her, it was selfish. Her husband had already supported so many of her career moves, and now she was going to ask him to support her in one more thing that would take time. It would take money. It would require him to help more with the kids and her to step back. Who was she to ask that much of someone who had already given her so much? It was like she was believing she was a burden or a pressure on him. If you've ever felt like that when you're thinking of asking someone for help, I want you to drop a smiley face in the comments. If you've ever felt like, no, I don't want to ask someone for that. I'm just going to be a burden. I don't want to make their life more stressful. So she was feeling that way. And as we uncovered what her resistance was, then we could start building up her inner strength, her inner boldness and courage. And one of the ways that we did that was through the questions that I'm going to ask you today. And they help you get really clear on what's it going to cost me if I ignore the nudges in my heart? What will the cost be to my family? What will the cost be to my community where I want to live or where I'm currently living? How will it cost my health and happiness? How might it cost us financially? If I'm not enjoying my life, then the other people around me are eventually going to figure that out, because I will not be shining. I will not be as vibrant as I could be. I will not be helping and making the impact that I could be making. So when she asked herself these kinds of questions, she got more clarity and a lot more motivation for taking action. And we looked at how she could take those small actions in a way that made her feel safe, so that she didn't feel overwhelmed by the enormity of the task, because it was a big one. Okay, so I'm going to have to study. I'm going to have to prove my value to the people who are making this decision at the university. I'm going to have some conversations with my spouse in a way that, like, I don't know how it's going to go. So we practiced some communication strategies. She had to create boundaries in her schedule so that she could get the work done. She needed to restructure her work schedule in the office and in the hospital so that she could make time for this work, and at the same time for her own health, right? Because if we don't have our health, then what does wealth matter? So we need to be wealthy physically, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. That's full circle wealth. If one piece of the pie is missing, it affects the others. So I want to share with you what she was able to accomplish. She freed up space in her schedule so that she could zone in on the important work. She had the conversations with her office team, with her colleagues, with her husband, with her extended family about what this career move would mean to them and how it would impact them and the benefits that they would experience by her taking action. We were working together. We had a partnership. She got mentorship from someone else in the healthcare realm in regards to the application process. And her self-esteem started rising. She started believing in herself more and trusting more than she feared. The doubt started shrinking and her boldness grew. So, what answer did you get when you wrote down, why do I want what I say I want? You can put that in the comments if you want. I'd love to read it. So, why is it really important to me? What's the cost that I might pay, my family or community might pay, if I don't step out and start being a more bold person? Your actions stem from your identity. It's not, I'm going to do something in order to have something so that I can feel a certain way. It's, I need to be someone new, actually, more who you were created to be. I need to be someone and then I naturally have certain characteristics, qualities, and resources. And then I do. Out of my being, I do. Okay? It's not do to have. Okay, so Amanda says she loves puttering, nature, passion, and that's kind of covering it up. Income, progress, hospitality. Yes, those are all words I would think of when I think of you, Amanda. All right. Michael says, I would like to have impact and also generate company success and people happiness at the same time. That's a perfect combination. Yes, that's wonderful. And I want you to think about those perfect combinations, right? Okay, so next question that I have for you. How could I get started in a bold way that's aligned with my deeper desire? How could I get started and prioritize one small action that would make me feel proud? But that action feels safe. It feels like right now that's doable. I could do that. It's just a phone call, or it's just one ask, or it's one inquiry, or maybe it's putting together what you want to help a company with, writing this free flow, writing it down, what you want to help a company with, and what you see there, the opportunity is, and how your unique strengths could help them create that outcome. And then ask to speak to the person in charge of events so you can speak there, or the person in charge of the team who would really like help with the team. So ask to speak to the right person, or maybe you want more free time so that you can, your income is full and abundant, but you want more free time so that you can host, or so that you can just relax with your friends, or you can go on more hikes. Then ask yourself, where am I thinking that I need to be busy in order to be valuable? Where am I thinking I need to be busy in order to be valuable? There's a lot of ways that you can expend less energy to make the same income and have a calm nervous system and be a lot more peace-filled and joy-filled. So we can talk about that soon. When you're overwhelmed with peace, you can't be overwhelmed with fear, right? If you think about this glass of water, and picture it full. Right now I've drank a little bit, but picture this glass of water full. If you're filled with peace and you're filled with abundance inside and thoughts of reminding yourself of your value and your worth, how loved you are, how valuable you are, how much opportunity awaits you, how grateful and thankful for what you have in your life. If you're filled with all of that, you're overwhelmed with thankfulness. There's no room in this glass, in that body of yours, in that mind of yours, that heart of yours, that spirit of yours. There's no room for anxiety anymore. So instead of thinking, how do I diminish anxiety? Think about, how can I increase peace of mind? And often it starts with you examining and starting to notice. And this is in my book, Powerful, How to Remain Calm and Joyful When Everything Feels Out of Control. It's the inside out creation process, and I highly recommend you grab a copy on Amazon. It's transformative, this formula. So the inside out creation process helps you understand, okay, if I'm feeling this way, then I must be thinking this thought. And if I'm thinking this thought, that means I'm being this type of person. That's the set point that your nervous system is stuck at. So where you feel like you're repeating old habits and you're feeling more anxiety or hesitation, procrastination than you want to, and if you just overcame that procrastination or overwhelm, or if you just felt a little bit more bold, you'd be able to break through that habit cycle, that pattern that is really irritating and frustrating to you. I needed to say that all with one breath because it was really frustrating. So the way that you break it is by determining to be a different person. A healthy person goes for runs because they believe they're consistent, they're capable, they're healthy, they're motivated. And then their habits, their thoughts, their emotions follow suit. So what would you need to believe about yourself in order to take that next step? That will help you overcome the fear. So maybe you need to believe that you're valuable, more than like abundantly valuable, in order for you to step out and pitch yourself. Or maybe you need to believe that your happiness is important. I know that for a long time, I didn't believe that my happiness was important. And I believed that other people's happiness was more important than mine. So I would prioritize everyone else before my own needs. And then I realized what I was believing about myself. So I know that I was teaching fast today. And I'm hoping that the questions that I gave you for reflection will help you better understand the root of the feeling of stuckness, internal struggle, if any of you are facing that right now, so that you can, one, get more clear on your dream, what you want, two, up your motivation to take action because you're more clear on your why, what the money or the free time, what all of that actually represents to you, the accomplishment of your goal, what's the why behind it? And then three, how to overcome overwhelm by becoming more overwhelmed with peace and overwhelmed with abundance and overwhelmed with worthiness and overwhelmed with lightness and joy, gratefulness, then anxiety, or then doubt. The more we're filled with good thoughts, the more our bodies will relax. And when we're in a relaxed state, then we can think clearly, we can focus in, and we can be more connected to God or source or your higher power or love, whatever word you connect with most. That connection is your key to greater impact through your work and greater income. So I'm going to read some of these notes, and I want you to feel free now to open up. We have 20 minutes. If there's anyone who would like some advice or strategic guidance around something, just put your hand up. Yeah.
Here's a question.
Yes.
So you know my dream of living in America, and it has to be someone who invites me to work with them, right? Like it's like I can't as a Canadian citizen just go work in America. I need a visa to do that. That's my dream, of course, is to live in San Francisco where I really feel that I can make a big difference. Even I was just there a few weeks ago and they all kept on telling me, we need you here. Like I heard this call in my depths, we need you here from so many different people who know me and don't know me. The same verse, same exact phrase was given to me 4 or 5 times. So I serve that as a confirmation that I'm on the right track for that desire to be in San Francisco. But as a Canadian, it's so for me, it's I feel like it's hard to make those steps into working in America because it's like I just can't cross the border and take a job. I need to have something presented, and someone has to advocate for me to be that person.
So I would challenge you, Mike, to advocate for yourself.
Yeah.
And if you were to advocate for yourself and be more proactive and bold, then what would your identity need to be? Like
Well,
for myself, let me just give you one example. And
okay.
I know that I'm talking about heady things right now, and we're going to talk about practical things as well.
Yeah.
Uh, I didn't know that I didn't believe, I realized that I was believing that I was not wanted. So if you're believing that too, and maybe not, but if you are, um, then you you wouldn't be forward in your reaching out, right? You wouldn't make the effort. You would think it needs to come to you.
Yeah. And I'm just trying to figure out how to go about being out there for it. Like, I mean,
Okay, so
like,
let me give you some ideas. Would you like
okay.
that? Okay. So it sounds like there was not one, but multiple people who said, you should come be here. You should come live here.
Yeah.
Okay.
5 or 6 friends.
Okay.
And I've told them like I need your help to make a way for me. Like I need connections for work and all that.
Okay. So people's brains are highly scattered these days.
Hmm.
We're easily distracted, and we've got our families and our own work and our own self-care. You know, we got to take care of ourselves. So we got pretty full brains and schedules typically. So the average person, when they say, hey, do you know someone who could help me with finding a job and work like this? Might be like, whoa, like that circle is big that I need to think in. But if you say, I want to help this specific group achieve these specific goals, and I know that I can do it using these skills and these tools that I have, and you outline that in one paragraph. Can you connect me with the manager at a company that you know or that you work in? Can you send an email introduction just so that I can have a conversation about possibilities? So this is you getting more specific about who I want to help, what transformation I can bring to that company, why I'm best suited for it, and then pitch it with passion. Let them feel your energy. So it might be, for example, that's what I did, and that's how I got a speaking engagement for the government of the government in Yukon. Was with one simple ask to a past client who suggested my name as a speaker. I told her what my newest book was on, how I could help their department, and then the tools that I would use to create the transformation. Easy connection, easy income. So light feeling.
That helps.
Cool.
Thank you, Amy.
Okay, good. So if you have ideas coming already, start writing them down. Okay. Can tune out while I talk to someone else. Okay. All right. Michael, Amanda, either of you have a question or want some support?
I'm really absorbing lots of things that you said this morning.
Awesome. What's one thing that stood out?
A big one was that reminder to fill your mind, like the glass of water, to fill your mind with the good stuff. And that's, yeah, a good positive way to combat the negative stuff creeping in.
Mm-hmm. And also, the whole identity piece is not
Yeah.
talked about much,
Yeah.
but our thoughts do come from who we believe we are.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
and as someone who believes in God, something else that I would offer up to you there is, where am I not agreeing with what who God told me I am?
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. That was another big part, was the identity piece. Like, who is that determined to be this certain type of person? Like, what are these to have these goals? What sort of person do you need to be? And essentially, that's the person that I desire to be, which is probably the person God's meant me to be. And so, yeah, that I sort of started jotting down a list of some of those things that I want to be more of, and that will support me to do the things that I need to do.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. And I think that God gets sad when we think we need to become serious.
Yeah.
Yes, we should be serious about our work.
Mm-hmm.
We should take it seriously, meaning we should apply ourselves and be committed and consistent, but not to lose our joy and our
Yeah.
playfulness and our
Yeah.
childlikeness. And
Mm-hmm.
so, in order to accomplish, actually, joy helps bring energy to the job.
Yeah. And that's so fun. Yeah.
Yeah. So, how can I do this project in a way that makes me feel like this is fun or this is doable? This is easier.
Yeah.
Mhm. Thanks, Amanda.
Thank you. I'll mute myself here again.
Michael, did you want to share anything before we wrap up, or did you want some coaching or advice on something? I would suggest the book to you, Michael. I'm just looking at your note here in the chat. Crucial Conversations. This is the book. Incredible for everyone. Crucial Conversations. Tools for talking when the stakes are high. Filled with great communication skills. So the homework for today is to write down and send me in the Facebook group or by email what I want and why I want it. What it will cost me, my family, and my community if I don't go after it. And the third is one small, bold step I could take towards it that feels doable or safe right now. Amanda, there's a giant balloon. Oh, awesome. All right, so I will send out an email and the replay of this so that you can watch it while you're going for a walk or you're walking on your treadmill, or maybe you're just waking up in the morning and you're stretching and you want to get the teaching further into your bones. Sometimes I watch and then I watch again and I take notes and then I listen. So the more you hear, the more you absorb, and then it becomes more a part of you. And sometimes you can get insights on the second or third listen that are really that really hit home for you, or you actually hear something new that you didn't hear before.
Okay, so I am wondering how we hear these recorded. Do we just go to your Facebook page or?
Oh, let me make sure that you got on the email list, because I sent the first one out already, so I'll make sure you get that one too.
Okay, I think I might have just thought I had, yeah, I saw the one about the homework, but okay, I'll check on that.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you.
Welcome. Okay, everyone. Tomorrow is we're going to be working on, let me share with you our topic. I'm going to be sharing with you about how you can create your calm plan. So how can you move forward towards creating greater levels of prosperity in a calm way? So creating your calm plan is our topic for tomorrow. And we'll be looking at, what do I need to prioritize on a daily basis so that I can feel calm in my body, calm in my mind, and create cash flow in an easier way. Calm body, calm mind, easier cash flow. So I'm looking forward to that, creating an actual plan with you. So I'll give you some framework and then you can create your unique plan yourself, or you can reach out for support. Okay, have a wonderful day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.